Here you see Tiberium. Some say it is the root of all that we fight for, but the wise man will judge for himself.
Tiberium is named after the Tiber River in Italy where it was first discovered.
Discovered by the Brotherhood, that is, and I named it after Tiberius Drusus Caesar.
There are now more than 200 areas of the Earth affected by Tiberium deposits. Tiberium appears to be spreading by means of conveyance unknown.
Unknown to them, perhaps.
Dr. Mobius, tell our viewers just what Tiberium really is.
Molecularly, it's a non-carbon-based element that appears to have strong
An obvious
Earth
lunatic.
qualities with non-resonating reversible energy that has a tendency to disrupt carbon-based molecular structures with inconsequent and unequal positrons orbiting on the first, second, and ninth quark rings.
Whoa, is that good or bad?
Ooh, let me put it this way, Eddie. The possibilities of Tiberium are limitless.
I suppose that's correct.
But by limitless, you mean?
We now know that not only does Tiberium leach elements from the soil, but it appears to also leach vital nutrients from all plant life. Human contact with Tiberium is extremely toxic and often fatal. Exposure should be avoided.
This is true. Deploy your troops accordingly. GDI and the Brotherhood view the benefits and the threats of Tiberium differently. They see a scientific anomaly, a curiosity. I see the future. In their stubborn ignorance, they continue to try and forestall this future. Somewhere in this region is a top-secret GDI research lab headed by Dr. Wang Hu-Chan, a sadly misled, although brilliant scientist. I suspect he is leading a research team in the process of developing a devastating new ion weapon. It is imperative that you locate this lab and terminate the good doctor before research is completed. Once you locate the base, one of your snipers should finish the job. Go quickly.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Conquer Tiberian Dawn Redux. Welcome to the 10th mod mission and welcome to another post commentary because for some reason OBS decided just not to record my audio. I'm not quite sure why. I just had to restart it and then it worked fine, but it doesn't really matter, so this mission isn't too long. And this mission is the one where you, as you heard during the briefing, have to take out Dr. Chan, the head developer for the GDI ion cannon. And we start with this considerable task force, and we do have a commando as well. The commando is really useful. I would try to keep that one alive at all costs. What you want to do here is get around the lake and keep to the shore so you avoid some GI units. GI has a decent amount of units on this map, and they are actually building new units. They do have one base and they do have production facilities. So if you don't watch out, they will actually swarm you if you wait too long. But then again, you don't really want to wait too long anyway, because GI actually has airstrikes in this mission, and they didn't have that in the original mission. So that makes this mission relatively tough, because once the airstrike hits, it's very likely to hit your clustered units, which are very likely to be clustered, and even if you see it coming and try to avoid it, there's a good chance that it's still going to get half your units, and you have flamethrower guys and flame tanks. Actually, I'm not quite sure whether you have flamethrower guys, I don't think you have them. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. There's a good chance that your entire stack of units is going to blow up. So yeah, I had to play this mission more than once to get it done, but it's fairly short and it's actually more challenging than the original, and I do appreciate that, because the original mission was actually pretty easy for being the fourth last not mission. Yeah, what you generally want to do is keep your units in a cluster, because that makes them move faster. Ideally you would separate them better, but I didn't really have the time for that because of the airstrike. And what I did was essentially keep the commando there to take out the infantry, but scout ahead a little bit just in case they are Humvees or APCs, because those are pretty much commando killers, because the commandos, you can't see afar, can see relatively far, but the problem is that the units here work a little bit differently. The original mission was also easier because the flame tanks could just walk into infantry stacks and would take them out, but the infantry here has way better range, and the flame tanks aren't quite as flexible. I think the flame tanks, they definitely feel weaker than the original ones, but the artillery feels a lot stronger. The artillery is actually very useful here, and yeah, the units you definitely want to keep alive if possible are either your flame tanks or better your well, not your medium tanks, you don't have medium tanks, your light tanks. And yeah, those guys here, they danced for a while. I'm not quite sure what is up with that, but then my commander just shot the guy. And yeah, you want to keep those alive as shields, your commando against infantry, and then your artillery against pretty much anything else, because medium tanks are the toughest units you face here. But even a medium tank is not going to survive 1 or 2 shells from the artillery units, and they fire relatively fast, so there's a good chance that a medium tank that stops to take out an infantry unit or a light tank is just going to eat a shell or 2 and then it's essentially done. I had a pretty nice stack of units left here, and when I played this mission for the first time, I lost units way faster. So I'm not really sure whether you can actually go around the southern shore, which seems to be the longer route, but I'm not really sure whether it's better defended. I don't really recall doing that in the original, and I didn't do it here. And there goes one of my flame tanks, but it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, I just wanted to take care of whatever was ahead. There were a lot of Humvees. Essentially, you kill your commando. You don't need your commando. You need either your commando, artillery, and I think you can possibly complete the mission with a light tank as well, but I'm not quite sure. In any case, yeah, there are a lot of Humvees here. There are 2 more medium tanks. Those are kind of critical because if you have very little stuff left, then those Abrams are going to eat you. Even if you have the commando is fast and Abrams shells are not good against it, but it's unlikely that they're going to get through, and if they even have 1 more Humvee or 1 more APC, then your commando is essentially toast. So yeah, so try to keep some stuff alive. The village to the south you have to cross. It's kind of annoying because crossing it isn't that easy. There's not a whole lot of space. And that's also a reason why my entire infantry squad got fried. How we try to get through there, but we'll see that in a minute. There's a couple of neutral oil wells. And yeah, there's this wave. It's just in the middle of the map. But this is still a beta version of the map. So that's okay. Overall the mission works pretty fine. Yeah, here are a lot more grenade guys and rocket guys. Your commando is going to be very useful here. You don't need to attack the GI base, you can do it, but you're probably just going to lose too much time. And there's no real need to do it. Taking it out isn't terribly difficult. It's full of infantry, but your commander can take care of those. And none of the infantry units can actually shoot over walls, so your artillery can just shell the base if you really want to take it out, but I wouldn't recommend it. I like that there's this minaret, there's also just a temple in the middle of the village. And there goes my infantry, which for some reason just took that route, and I think they did have flame guys and they blew them up, and there was also this APC, so there was just no chance that would go anywhere. But I could quickly secure that building with the commando, so that made this a lot easier. Yeah, you don't need to get through the base or even really alongside the base. It's sufficient to just walk through here, and you can actually do that with your commando alone if things get too hot. And here's a Tiberium field, but a fully promoted commando isn't much of an issue here, and here's a doctor, and so you can just shoot him. There's also a tech center, which in the original mission you could take out, but it doesn't really matter. I think the doctor was hiding behind that in the original mission. In any case, this was not mission 10, relatively short, but a short and sweet mission, surprisingly challenging. So thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time, and I'm going to see you again whenever the next mission comes out. So take care and goodbye.